What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. I want to talk to you guys about something right now that's actually happened with a few clients recently. And it's something that is a problem, and of course it happens quite often. It's probably happened to you, or if you're a trainer, it's definitely happened to your clients. And that is people falling off their diets, or basically just, I don't want to say cheating on their diets, but losing their fucking minds when something bad happens in their life. Like something negative happens, and the first thing that they do is immediately go to off the plan eating, okay? And that screams out to me automatically that that person is actually, they're hurting. I mean, that's what's going on. And to compensate for that, what they do is they try to eat. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it's a binge thing, but many times it is a binge thing. And they go crazy and eat all these crazy foods. And then they hit me up and say, hey, Jerry, here's the deal. I cheated on my diet, right? They're very honest about it. And I appreciate that, because if you're not, it's really hard to help somebody if you're not getting all the information. You can't figure out what the fuck is going on. And they've been cheating on their diet and telling you, no. Like, I've had people contact me and say, well, I ate a little bit off of my diet. And I'm like, okay, but you gained 4 pounds. What is a little bit off the diet? And they list what they ate and how much they ate. And I'm like, holy fuck, that's not really a little bit, right? And so in their heads, they try to minimize what's happening and kind of rationalize and downplay, like, well, I had, the recent one was the individual had a breakup with his girlfriend. And he went off his diet and he said, I realized what was wrong. Like, he corrected himself. He's like, I realized that it's wrong and I didn't really need to do that, and it basically just fucked everything up. So I'm back on plan, and he kind of corrected himself and brought himself right back. But the phenomenon of when something comes up to automatically go off your diet scares me, to be honest with you. Honestly, in my personal opinion, it is a form of eating disorder that they don't even realize is going on, okay? What you're looking for is a dopamine, serotonin rush from the foods you're eating. Because I'll tell you guys right now, my father passed away. It's going to be 2 years in October this year. And not only did I not go off the diet, because I understood that, like, why? What the fuck is it going to do? Like, food is going to help out my situation? No, it's not going to fucking help out my situation. If your girl breaks up with you, food is not going to help your fucking situation. If it does, you have something more going on up here than just being on a diet, right? You have some kind of pull or draw, or I don't want to say disorder, because maybe it's not necessarily a disorder, but you have a pull because you know that your brain's going to get that serotonin rush. It's the same thing as a drug addict. If you're a heroin addict or whatever, and you have something bad happen, like something negative happens, the first thing you want to do is get high. Like, you run to that to stop what the fuck is happening. It's the same thing with food. So I know that people can stay on track if they have a goal, right? But when they veer off like that because something bad happens, that's like a red flag, a super high alert thing that lets me say, okay, this person, although they really want to get in shape and stuff, there's something going on below the surface that I don't think they even understand. And when I grew up, it was all about, like, feeding you. My mom would be like, did you eat enough? Get another plate. Like, I'm Portuguese. That's the way it is. They feed you, right? And we go to McDonald's, I'd say, my mom would be like, what do you want to eat? I said, I get a hamburger and fries. And she'd be like, is that going to be enough? Make sure you get enough food, okay? Don't be hungry. Oh, give me 2 cheeseburgers, and a fry. Like, it just always was like that. But I never looked at food as comfort. Not once, ever. I just wasn't like that when I was a kid. I'm not like that now. So when my dad passed away and I went to Rhode Island for the funeral, I packed my Nutrition Solutions meals. It's actually in the videos. I packed protein shakes. I packed brick bars. I packed everything on a moment's notice to get up there. I got to the gym. I still trained. I was fucked up. You know what I mean? Let's face facts. I was hurt. I was hurt and I was sad. I was going through all these emotions. And I still did what I needed to do, because I know deep down inside that if I don't continue doing what I enjoy to do, what I like doing, then what's going to happen in the end is it doesn't, you binge on your food, it doesn't fix the problem. The problem doesn't go away. It's still there, and it's going to be there. So you eating that food, all it does is actually add another problem to the equation. To now you're like, well, fuck, I did this. And some people get so bummed out they binge for like a week, and they just go fucking nuts. They go ham for 3, 4, 5 days, and then they look back and they beat themselves up. It's like, when you ask them, why did you do it in the first place? They're like, I don't know. That's not an answer. Okay, if you binge or you go off your diet because something bad happens, or you got a strange phone call that upset you or whatever, you should probably look a little more into that. That's just my personal opinion. And literally, if you had something bad happen to you and you stuck to your diet and stuff, focusing on what your task is at hand, like focusing on a competition, like a lot of people pull out of shows. Me, if something happens to me, I usually try to find a show to dive into it, because it's not, pain is temporary. And pain can either be a good teaching lesson or it can destroy you. One or the other. It goes one end of the spectrum. There's everything in between. But when pain, or like emotional pain, not physical pain, but emotional pain happens to me, the first thing I try to do is find a way to deal and cope with that emotional pain that is not an external source, okay? Not food, not drugs, not alcohol, nothing like that. So I'm trying to find a way to deal with that pain and cope with it. Now, adding, doing the things that I love, like, eating the foods that I do, the bodybuilding and, competing and all these types of things. Like, I actually love to do that. The people that are going off their diets, they don't actually love this stuff. Like, they're doing it maybe because they want to look good for their girlfriend. They want to look good for a vacation. Like, you truly don't love it, because it's not like you would, give up something you love because something bad happened. Like, you don't do that. You don't get like a call that your mom passed away and you give up your dog. You get rid of your dog because you don't want to fucking feed him because you're so upset because your mom passed away. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And I think a lot of people look at food as like because you need it to live. They look at it as a thing like, it's okay. Like, all of it is okay. No matter what happens right now, it's okay because it's just food. It's normal. People do this. Not everybody does that. A lot of people do it, but they're doing it to cope. And that is a problem. Not having the tools to deal with the shit that's going on in your life leads to more fucking problems, okay? So if you have a problem that's going on right now and you cope by using drugs, guess what? You got another fucking problem now added to that one. If you're doing a diet and you get a show going and you're so happy and you got this goal, something bad happens, you fucking fall off that diet and eat 10 boxes of donuts and fucking go eat ice cream and fuck yourself up for a week, you now have another problem. Like, even though this one's not fixed, you add this one on top of it, it makes it 10 times worse. So my advice to you guys is, if you have a goal and you're on track and you're moving forward and you're like doing well and something pops up that just seems like, fuck, I don't want to deal with this today. Like, I can't fucking deal with this. Like, your girlfriend, I mean, this is a perfect example. When my ex-girlfriend Angelica and I split up, I signed up for the Pittsburgh Championships, and Kevin Levrone trained me for it with my buddy Rick. We traveled to Pittsburgh together. I would get up every morning, do my fucking cardio. I was working 4 jobs. I kept myself as busy as possible, where I know the people that have been broken up with, and they pull out of the show. I can't take it. I just got to eat. I can't stay on my diet. And I'm like, why? What the fuck is the difference? Like, if you're medicating yourself with that food to feel better, you're using it as medication. It's no longer food to keep you alive. You're using it as a drug. And I think people just, again, they look at food as something that's like not a big deal. Like, when Carrie and I split, you guys watched me fucking jump into I wasn't even competing. I was retired from bodybuilding. You guys watched me jump into the Baltimore Gladiator Champions for my first physique competition. When my dad passed away, you guys watched me jump into, after a 3-week prep, the Max Muscle here in Virginia. Like, because I knew, like, that stuff will help you get through it. And I don't mean jumping into competition. What I'm saying is staying true to who you are and what you enjoy. Hell, if you enjoy fucking eating food, knock yourself out. But don't come back and be like, it's not a big deal, I just went off track. You giving up your goal and heading down a whole different path for a day before you snap to your fucking senses, decide that's not what you want, is a problem. It's a lack of impulse control, okay? And it's an absolute lack of tools that you have to deal with it. Now, I'm not perfect. I go through the same shit, and when stuff hurts, it hurts. I mean, my cousin Christopher passed away, and, July 1st is coming up. July 1st is when he passed away. And every year it hits me like a ton of bricks. But never once have I gone out and, okay, when I was younger, okay, let me say that. Let me rephrase that, because that would be an untrue statement. But when I was younger, I would go out and party. I would get fucked up. I would just screw myself up with drugs, alcohol, whatever it took to forget that that was the day and what was going on. And all I did was compound it, because the next day, guess what? It may not be the day that he passed away. However, that feeling is still there. And now I'm hungover and I feel like shit. So your choices are deal with that and deal with the loss of him at the same time, or get fucked up again. Either way, you have to make a decision. If you choose to get fucked up again, that thing can compound and just keep rolling into a direction that you don't want. Trust me, I'm telling you guys. So be aware, guys. Like, just because something bad happens, it's not like an automatic fucking light switch that goes off. It's like, yes, I get to eat pizza now because my mom fucking yelled at me. It's like, what the fuck? Or like, my dad passed away. I get to go fucking completely crazy and eat 2 cakes. You're like, what sense does that make? And I'm sure that, you could rationalize it, but every single time I ask one of these individuals, they don't have an answer. I don't know. I knew what I was doing was not really what I wanted to do, but I just said, fuck it. And I'm like, how many times do you say fuck it to things in your life? Like, are you walking down a road and you say fuck it and jump in front of a bus? Because that's the same type of extreme thing, right? You say, I don't give a fuck it, and then drown yourself in a pool because you're fucking, your dad. Like, you don't understand. Like, you're doing an extreme thing based on pain, which I understand, but you're not doing other extreme things. It has to do with food. So figure out why it's the food. Figure out why you can't stick to what you're doing. And maybe you're just not cut out to compete. Maybe you're just not cut out to lose weight. I think that's complete bullshit, but I do believe that people give in, they rationalize, and they want what they want, and they do treat food as a drug. And I've seen the pull of food so many times over throughout the years, and I had people tell me I was fucking stupid, I'm dumb, I'm wrong, until Dr. Pam Peake, a friend of mine's wife, Mark Pearl's wife, came out and actually has a book out and is the leader worldwide a doctor in eating disorders and in poor relationships with food. Once I really started delving into that, I was like, you know what? I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. Like, this is a real thing. It happens to a lot of people, enough so where they have to study it and there's doctors looking into it. So hopefully this can kind of, I don't know, give you guys something to think about. You know, think about it the next time something goes wrong. Stay on track actually feels a lot better. You get a self-fulfillment from actually being able to fight through the pain, stick to your goals, and continue moving forward. And at the same time, you are building a stronger you. You're building up tools to learn how to deal with those anxieties and pain and frustration, everything that's going on, and you don't have to medicate yourself with food or drugs or anything else, because you don't. You know, every single one of us has been given the testicular fortitude, even women, that allow us to get through things. Like, we have that inner strength, every single one of us. And I think that most people just don't realize they have it, and they don't exercise it enough to be able to use it when the time comes. So hopefully this will help you guys. If not, I can just say, at least just think about it, and just think about what could transpire and how you can make things better. bicetraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.bicetraining.com is a blog, so get it. Just think bicep, and we are